Well, it's quite a pathetic situation, but I still have Lanre Suraje and Nelson Ekujimi. Well, let's talk about those pictures you just saw. I mean, quite a pathetic situation there. To be candid, the first time I saw the hospital, I honestly thought it was an abandoned building. I never knew that hospital was functional. You know, after filming the first time, we had to go back there to film again the second time, just to be sure, to see the hospital, this health center now in operation. And there you see, I mean, what do you make of these pictures?
Well, it's very, very pathetic that in this age and time, we could have an health facility like this to attend or to address human health challenges. Ordinarily, even where animals are being reared, you don't create this type of health facilities, you know, to tend to, you know, vets. So for me, I find it very, very unbelievable.
And Lanre, this health facility actually caters to about 1 million people. About 1 million people live in that community, and this is the only health center you have there, and then it's like this.
Well, I would say it is not really pathetic, but it's just a typical example of the gory state of our health facilities in the country. You know, this is primary health. You will need to go to even tertiary health centers across the country where they don't even have beds. So people get to die even at the reception while they are waiting to take cards, even after take cards when they need to wait. So seats are allocated, beds are allocated even for GMDs, for MDs, and for chief medical directors, CMDs rather, in the tertiary hospitals. And the same thing goes to our secondary hospital before you go to primary health. But this is actually
And this is supposed to be the critical stage.
Yeah, so this is where the masses of the people, you know, are treated to the normal health. That's why they say malaria kills more than even HIV, AIDS, and cancer. Because people with HIV, AIDS, and cancer can afford international treatment, can actually get to private hospitals. But people with malaria in these places don't even get any form of support. You can see you can find the medications. You know, you are not even having the health professionals that are there. So
and you have just one health professional.
Just one health facility.
One health.
So and is
one health
very
for this.
typical of the Nigerian elite. We run away from problems. We don't solve problems. So if there are traffics on the road, they go by helicopter. So you can see helicopter flying people from the island to the airport directly because the traffic is there on the way and they don't want to have anything to do with it. So you can see the president going for medical treatment and checkups abroad because the health facility in the country cannot take care of his health and is not part of the mentality of the ruling elite in Nigeria to be ashamed of embarking on such, you know, medical tourism, rather than then for them to deal with the issues at home and fix the health facilities. And the same thing goes to the governors. Almost all the governors and their families, and even the commissioners, don't go to most of these hospitals. Except they go to the 5-star private hospitals in the country. So for them, even local government, you won't find any members of the families of the local government chairman or even councillors in that community going to that. And you will know that, for your information, it is not just about the chairman. So if we're just reducing it to the chairman or the councillors, we might be doing the service to the people there. So they have councillors representing those constituencies. They have the chairman. They have members in the House of Assembly. They have members in the House of Reps. They have representatives in the Senate.
As a matter of fact, this area is part of Senator Shehu Sani's senatorial district. Now, yeah, that's part, and of course that's in Kaduna. Is there a chance that the local government chairman and even the governor too would not be aware of a situation like this?
I doubt very much if a local government...
And the senator as well.
Yes, because ordinarily this falls under the purview of the local government constitutionally. And, you know, for us to witness this, you know, we need to ask, we need to throw up questions that, how did we get to this sorry state? Is there no yearly budget for health.
Could there also be a chance that, you know, just as we've been talking about local government, what NFIU now is trying to do, there could also be a chance that the local government probably does not get its funding directly, and so because we've seen where the governor, as a matter of fact, said that the state government was renovating primary health centers across the state.
Let's be sincere, which is why I went the memory, try to do a bit of historical link with what is there. There's no governor that would say he doesn't know this is what the states are, because it is about providing health facilities and services for the people. So ask the governor to show you
election actually took place,
a functional, primary health care centers in the states, and you'll be shocked at what you will see. So they can't claim not to know, and that is why we said the House of Assemblies also have some kind of, supervisory role over the local government. The budgets are presented, the monies are allocated. So if the state governors are not stealing the resources for what is meant to discharge these services with the health centers and education, then what happens to the money? I can bet you for an average governor that releases appropriately the required money to the local government would be interested in what happens to that local government
and how the money is used.
Precisely.
Now, let's look at the school, because not just the health facility, let's look at the school as well. And that, for me, was very shocking. And, to find pupils sitting down on the bare floor, very rough floor anyway, very rough floor. And, we're talking about a place that is very close to Kaduna Metropolis. I mean, you could see the city from this community. So it's not as if this is a remote community. This is almost in the heart of Kaduna.
If the three of us sitting down here, if we had not gotten functional education, and when I'm talking about functional education, I'm talking about you sitting down on a chair, writing on a bench, with your teacher standing in front of you in a conducive atmosphere. When we were in school, we were sitting two per desk and table. But when you find a situation like this, what do you expect? How do you expect these children to assimilate? How do you expect them to be able to write properly? Because even in trying to copy their notes, you are subjecting them to health stress. So for me, this is like, putting people through agony.
And this is,
I can't imagine.
Primary,
this is
the formative stage. Yeah.
This is the formative stage. Yeah. So when the boy or the girl gets to secondary level, who knows, maybe even some secondary schools are even like this.
Yeah, if not worse.
If not worse. You can even see, look at the walls. Yeah. This is a death trap. This is not a school. Yeah. It's like people sending their children there, to be killed because the walls can collapse at any time.
And the point is that the parents there have got no.
You can see
the parents have got no choice.
If you look at what is written there, it's written State Primary Education Board.
Can you imagine?
That is the primary education board for the state. It is
and
not just about local government. Yes,
there's a SUBEB.
Yes, so this is where they have direct connection, and it's unfortunate, like you said. They won't even go there. Their children won't go there to go and play, not to say go and study. And this is where you want them to come out, to become doctors, to become nurses, to become lawyers, and to become engineers. And this is where you want people to come up with innovative and creative thinking of how to fly aeroplane or to use drone. So how do you want a country to develop on this? And there's no way any country would develop better than the standard that you set with the education that you're giving to the children. So you're telling them this is the best that they can make out of life. This is the best under which human beings should live. And how do you want them to think in the way of not even 21st century? You can see the investment that Dubai is putting into education, not its oil again. It's putting into education, it's putting into research. But here, the funny thing is that we're not even talking about increased allocation to education. We're even talking about the judicious utilization of the minimal allocation that we even have currently. That doesn't go to the education. You can only see money go into the education ministry. You would see schools not improved. You will see curriculum not developed. Like what you said, it is in this country that even as recent as these 1990s, 1980s, people were getting free books in school, free mathematical sets, free textbooks that you would put not for sale or
Free
not to be
exercise
sold.
And look at how
exercise
look
books.
at the innocent children.
I mean, for them, what do you think I was saying? This is a normal life for them. They have been classically conditioned to work like that.
This picture is a typical expression of the level or the types of primary schools we have across the country. I'll give you an example. There was a day I was in my daughter's school, and one of the teachers told me that...
This is quite sad.
One of the teachers told me that where she was teaching before, in this Lagos State, that the population of the students to the teacher is over 90. That the teacher will stand in front of the class, will not be able to move
even within
the classroom to write properly on the board, because when you are moving, you have to be cautious so that you
not
don't
step on the
on the children behind you, on the pupil behind you. So it is that bad. It is how we have abandoned this.
And because you will see,
but what is really baffling in the case of Kaduna State is, as we pointed out in the documentary, the government has spent so much on education.
Where is the money?
So where is the money?
Look, don't let us make excuses for these guys so that we don't allow them to divert attention. Look at what recently happened in Delta State, where that young lady said they go flog tire or something like that, where the girl was accused of not bringing the money for whatever. Not later than a month after the video went viral, the government started building school. You're not talking about Borno State. You're talking about Delta State, where not only do they get allocation, they also get
13% derivation
from natural resources. So these monies are monthly allocated for these purposes.
Education in Kaduna State, the budget this year is getting education is getting the highest.
Look at that word.
Education is getting the highest chunk of the budget.
In Kaduna State.
In Kaduna State. And
so
it's been almost like that, you know.
So there's a need for
the past 3, 4,
citizens
5
and the
years.
media. And this is where we also share part of the blame.
Yeah.
We have a responsibility, the civil society, even though we're trying in terms of saying we track budgets, but we must constructively and consistently engage and pick on issues like this and say, if there's going to be 18 billion going to the education, then we must be able to see within the next 1 year, is it going to be teachers' capacity building? Is it infrastructural development? Is it curriculum development? We must be able to see and track.
Is it in feeding the
Because
children?
to be candid, we should never have a school like this that hasn't got a decimal.
He has just summarized it.
There's just no excuse for it.
Any nation that abandons
in Kaduna State, it's really quite really
with
quite
all the noise from the governor and all the braggados, I don't think
it's really quite shocking. And you know, if this was in a typically remote community that is not accessible, I can understand.
Right.
But this is a community that is just you know, just close to the city, just beside the city. As a matter of fact, could be part of the city.
But even if it is not close to the city, are these not citizens of the state?
They are citizens and they deserve to get better.
And maybe the parents are paying their taxes.
And the point is, now if the parents decide not to send their children to school, would you blame them? We're talking about school dropout.
Yes.
This is what is encouraging parents not to send
Even
their
some of the children will say, oh, daddy, if you take some of our children here in the city to such a school, the next day the boy or the girl will tell you, daddy, I'm not going tomorrow.
And the only reason why some parents are still sending their children to this kind of school is because they've got no choice.
They're poor, yes.
They're poor. They've got no choice. They're like the poorest of the poor.
Yeah.
You would never believe that a building like this would still be serving as a classroom.
This is not even a building where you can
that
keep
can collapse
cattle.
at any time.
This
is
a
a
national
place where you
embarrassment.
should keep animals. I mean, except you want to show some measure of cruelty to animals, because this place can collapse any moment and any time. And unfortunately,
No
like
windows,
we said, it's been classically arranged.
No chairs.
That's what the state government has earmarked, 25.4 billion for the education sector in 2015.
I think we need to engage with our people in Kaduna State to take up the government on this.
And quite unfortunate.
Yeah.
People who live in communities like this have not got a voice. It's only people like us who can speak.
I think this is one of the things that should be commendable for your TV station for actually going forward to actually bring to public notice. But we shouldn't allow it to end like the usual social media, viral sharing, and criticism, and then we move to the next problem.
Next problem.
But we need to actually follow this to a logical conclusion. We need to call out, like I said, this is reinforcing what the NFIU is saying. So we need to call out all the people that are concerned, and I've listed them. The House of Assembly guys that were elected to represent these people in Kaduna State House of Assembly. What have they been doing so far that we have a situation that have degenerated to this level? The ones in the House of Rep, the one in the Senate, we need to call them out. They get constituency allowance. You said Senator Shehu is there. They get constituency allowance. They got constituency projects. So where is the constituency project for this particular area under his constituency? The same thing goes to the guys in the House of Reps, and that ultimately goes to the governor. It is not about the local government. It is more about the governor who has been elected to provide security for and welfare of the people of the state. They are the people of Kaduna State.
I feel for those children, and innocent.
They see normal life.
For them,
they've been classically conditioned to see that.
Look at that. Look at that. It
Innocent.
could go down at any time.
Innocent.
Can you imagine?
Could go down at any time.
Innocent.
It's baffling. It's difficult to believe. Gentlemen, thank you very much for coming on the program.
It was a pleasure.
This is quite shocking. And what we were told is that, look, there are even worst ones.
No, you can bet. If this is somewhere close to this is close to the metropolis, so you can be sure where what you have in areas that are not too close to civilization.
It's quite terrible. Let's just hope something is done. And
we must ensure that something is
done. We'll definitely keep at it. Nelson? Jimmy, thank you very much for coming on the program. Larry Suraj, thank you very much.
Always my pleasure.
Well, that's it on the program. But if you want to watch it again, because what you're watching at the moment is actually the abridged version. But if you want to watch the full version, just go to tv360nigeria.com. You'll find this program and lots more there. And you can, of course, follow us on our various social media handles and continue to contribute to the program. Thank you very much for watching. I'm Deji Badimasi. We'll see you next week.